Hey y'all, what's good? It's your girl Tay. I'm back with another video. Today is Friday. I made it to the end of the week. I'm alive. I'm healthy. And all that good stuff. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the coronavirus and all the emails that I have been getting, as well as my experience with Instacart this week. So first things first, definitely make sure you smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe if you haven't already. Plus, push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. That was one wide turn. Did you need all 3 lanes in the Maxima? Okay. So anyways, I did Instacart today, you guys. I also did Instacart the other day. Now, I'm going to put on the screen the batches that I have been seeing. Now, I didn't accept these batches, but I am going to put on the screen the batches that I have been seeing. The positive, I'm going to start with the positive first because it's so hard to see the positive with what's going on with the coronavirus. So, of course, the positive of what's going on with the virus is that there is an increase in the demand for shoppers. Most people are self-isolating themselves, not necessarily because they have the virus or because they're fearful of catching the virus. And it's even in the most blogs that I have read online where physicians/doctors are insisting that people who have a weakened immune system or who already have some type of underlying medical condition going on in their bodies may suffer more if they contract the virus. So they're insisting that they use services like Instacart. I also read a blog that was saying that we are considered the first responders in the crisis right now, as we are the ones that are going out there and providing this service for people because people are staying home. It did also say that eventually we will be contributing to the spread of the disease itself, but for now on, it's saying that we are the first responders. They've seen a surge. I will definitely say this, there's definitely a surge in how much money people are spending. So, outside of that, these are the batches that I did the other day. Did 3 batches. The first one was small, and I did it like that on purpose because it's been such a while that I've done Instacart that I didn't want to overwhelm myself, and I'm glad. Everything is out of stock. And I was reading today to see if maybe there's a shortage. They're not saying it's a shortage. And I actually talked to an employee at one of the stores that I went to, which was Target, and asked if there's a shortage. And that person said there's not a shortage either. I can't speak for every store. I don't know how much of that is true. I'm just giving you guys the information that I have seen. And yeah, what I've seen on the news is people are buying out of fear. You know, it's interesting because while I was doing Instacart today, I was in a store and it was a small batch. It was like $16. I think $14 came from Instacart. $2 came from the customer, and it was like 18 items. And of course there was water and toilet tissue on there, as there's no toilet tissue available for anyone. They have those little boxes, the little Kleenex boxes that people use usually when they're sick to wipe their nose that they have left, but the actual rolls of tissue is not available. So, you know, I was in line because the lines were literally wrapped around on the inside of the store. So it took me 2 hours to complete a batch that literally the customer was 1.5 miles away from the store, not far at all. It took so long, and it didn't even take me that long to shop it. Everything that they had was fairly simple to get, and thankfully the app itself had the store mapped out pretty good, so it told me exactly where to go to get the items. So it was pretty easy and pretty quick. I was done with the order in a good amount of time. I just couldn't check out because even though I think they had about 4 registers open, all 4 registers had extremely long lines. So, you know, people were talking, and I spoke to a couple of people in a lot of different stores where they were all saying that they've noticed that people are buying out of fear. People are overbuying. One lady said that she went to the 99-cent store and she noticed that the guy was opening up a brand new thing of the small hand sanitizers, and so she asked him if she could get some, and he told her yes. And she got, I think, 4 bottles, and I think that's the limit, is like 4. And then the guy there was another guy that was there, and he said, oh, that's all you're going to get? And she said, yeah. And the guy behind her said, I'll take all of it. You know, it's like, you guys don't need all of that. And what I've been saying, what I'm going to continue to say, is that the best way to prevent the spread of disease and germs is still going to be to wash your hands with soap and water. I have been stocking up on the stuff that I feel that matters, and I'm not stocking up like as if Jesus is getting ready to walk the earth again and make his final selections. I am just buying things that I would normally buy, you know, the things that people are not thinking about. They're leaving all the soap in these stores. Nobody's thinking about vitamins. Nobody's thinking about anything that's going to give them their immune system a boost. You know, I have been stocking up on those types of things. Let me get some Tylenol and ibuprofen for me and my children to help if there's a flu or a fever or anything like that. You know, let me stock up on medications that will help us with the symptoms. Let me get some herbs, you know, that will help us with the symptoms. Let me get some vitamins. Let me get some emergencies, those little packets of the little orange powder that you put in water. You know, let me get stuff that's going to help replenish our electrolytes. You know, I've been getting stuff like that. And again, I'm not going out and spending a lot of money, because that's what everybody is doing. I'm not trying to be broke when this is over either. So I'm keeping my spending I'm budgeting quite well, trying to spend no more than $50 to $60. I'm not going out there and just buying up any and everything. I don't foresee there's going to be a shortage of food anytime soon, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm confident in what I have in my house right now. Most places that are closing, like Disneyland just closed and all that, they're not closing indefinitely. They're closing until the end of the month. So, you know, I don't know, you guys. Oh, now let's talk about the emails. So I got an email from Grubhub, DoorDash, Postmates, Instacart, Uber, pretty much all the apps that I have, saying that they are implementing a no contact or a leave at the door delivery. So now you can just leave the food at the door for the customer rather than handing it off. This is also to, I guess, make us feel safe with a T, to make us feel safe by limiting our contact with other people as well, since we are out there already risking exposure by putting ourselves in places where there are large groups of people. They're implementing an option now so that we don't have to necessarily have contact with these customers, you know. So I think that that is very helpful. I've been doing that pretty much all day. I haven't had a customer with Instacart that wanted to be outside and exchange anything with me. It was pretty much leave it on the step, and that's exactly what I did. My most fearful moment is when I'm actually in the store, because there was lines, because they were long, and because everybody was so close. You know, it was like being in a confinement center or something like that, dealing with a natural disaster, and there's only a limited amount of space. That's what it felt like. Also, I know Uber sent me an email, which I'm going to pop that on the screen. They sent me an email a couple of days ago saying that they were going to help out in the best way that they can in terms of the virus. One of the things that they're doing is trying to work with manufacturers of disinfectant wipes and hand sanitizer and things of that nature so that they can provide them to us. You know, but because there's a limited, you know, resources are limited right now because of all of the panic buying that people are doing, it's taking them a minute to get that together, but they will update us as soon as they can. Another thing that Uber mentioned is that if you have contracted the virus, and if you are, it doesn't matter whether you're an Uber driver, rideshare driver, or if you're an Uber delivery partner, they will pay you for up to 14 days, you know, for your quarantine. They will pay you. I don't know how much. It doesn't say how much it is, but it just says that they will pay you for up to 14 days if you are to get the virus. You just have to show proof. I know that DoorDash as well has sent out a message that I received saying that they will also pay their delivery partners as well, but they have to have been active in the last Their account has to have been active for the last 60 days, and they have to have been driving for the last 30 days. So as far as I know, for Uber, there is no other criteria except for you actually showing proof that you have contracted the virus. Instacart, I believe they are talking about trying to help financially, but I didn't really see a whole lot of details in terms of the length of time or if there's any criteria or obligations. So if you guys have seen something that I haven't, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comment section below so I can share it with everybody else. Outside of that, that's pretty much all I've seen for the, the platforms that I'm working with. There's really not a whole lot that they can do. Obviously, they still want to stay in business, and they're taking advantage of the fact that people are utilizing their services more often. So, they're going to do what they can to accommodate the drivers, at the same time still fall in line with the CDC requirements in terms of not contributing to the spread of the disease. So at the end of the day, it's really up to us. There are things that we can do to help prevent from spreading the disease. I was reading another statement online that was talking about how the disease is spread. There's so much misinformation, it's kind of hard to weed out what's true or what's not true. But the only one that I want to talk about is the one that says that there is no known evidence to support that the disease can be contracted from food if someone is handling your food incorrectly, or from the packaging around the food. And I believe that I came across that because I was looking at something having to do with DoorDash and Postmates and Grubhub and things of that nature. So they're trying to say that, even if a person is fearful, they may feel like a person may have messed with their food or whatever, there's no way to contract the virus that way, or from the actual packaging around the food. The only way that has been evident and noted is through, it's airborne if someone's sneezing near you, and of course you inhale that in, or skin to skin contact, you touch that person, and then you rub your face or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how long the virus can live on non-porous or porous surfaces. So I will look into that just to see. But like I said, there are things that we can do to keep ourselves from spreading the disease, keep ourselves from, taking it home with us to our families. And that is to wash your hands frequently. There really is no excuse as to why a person can't wash their hands. I keep a bottle of soap and water in my car. I also have a roll of paper towels. If I can't get to a restroom to wash my hands, I pour the soap and water over my hands outside my door. I wash my hands really good, singing my ABCs. I wipe my hands off with the paper towel. I'm on my way. I also have these little itty bitty bottles of sanitizers that I was able to get before the shortage happened, so I use those throughout the day as well to keep my hands nice and clean. I make sure that I clean my hands after I go into a restaurant, or in this case today, since I did Instacart, after I leave the supermarket. And once I drop it off, I wash my hands again. So I'm going to, I also make sure that everybody is clean every day. Even at home, I tell my children, wash your hands. If they touch their faces, wash your hands. If they touch a wall in my house, wash your hands. Just getting everyone used to that muscle memory of washing their hands as often as possible, no matter what it is, no matter what you touch. I just want you to go, oh, I touched something, wash your hands. So you guys could do the same thing. If you're sick and feeling under the weather, stay home. A lot of people are coming out and they don't have to come out. And that's also contributing to the spread of the virus. A lot of what's going on is because people are out and about. I'm not talking about those who haven't shown any symptoms. I'm talking about those who know they're sick. This is something that was going on before the coronavirus even came out. People were out here walking around with diseases and stuff, not telling anybody. People are just ignorant these days. So you just do all you can to protect yourself. And on that note, I'm here at my son's school. I'm going here and get him, and we're going to go back home and rest. I will be out tomorrow doing Grubhub because I have scheduled hours both tomorrow and Sunday. I needed a break because, like I said, I stood in line today for about 2 hours for one order, and it should not take that long to check out. Today I made, I want to say $38. The other day when I did Instacart, I made $52. That was between Instacart and Uber Eats. And I'm going to put this on the screen as I'm saying it. I did 3 separate batches, and then I did 1 Uber Eats order, and I received a $5 cash tip. So those are my earnings so far. I will do the final reveal of everything that I have made, most likely on Sunday or Monday of this coming week. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. So remember to live, love, elevate, and definitely check in your community, state, or whatever for resources to help you get the things that you need to keep yourself and your family safe. All right, y'all. See you in the next video.